The Prime Minister is undertaking a three-state blitz to drum up support for the voice on the eve of the referendum. Joel Philp is in Adelaide and filed this report.
He ended the press conference by saying, "See you in Hobart." Anthony Albanese is off to the Apple Isle next, and he'll then end up in Sydney tonight. Now, I'm told tomorrow, on the day of the referendum, he will visit two regional areas. We don't know which state they'll be in yet, but he will spend the night of the referendum in Canberra. It's been long debated where he'll end up, and we've had now confirmation from the Prime Minister's office that he'll end up in Canberra on referendum night. What we saw this morning was a visit to the Adelaide markets. It's a busy, bustling place at that time of the morning, perhaps even more so than some of the pre-polling booths, one of which I'm standing behind now here in Adelaide. So the Prime Minister had dozens of Yes supporters behind him, prominent people like the Premier of South Australia, Peter Malinauskas, the Foreign Minister, Penny Wong, and there were a good 100 or so onlookers who were visiting the market and were listening to that call that he made out, pushing for people to write that three-letter word, YES, yes, on their ballot papers. He mentioned the events that have occurred in the Middle East over the past week and said that this is another reminder to Australians that kindness costs nothing.
I spoke about kindness, and this week of all weeks, where we see such trauma in the world, there is nothing, no cost to Australians showing kindness, thinking with their heart as well as their head when they enter the polling booth tomorrow and voting yes.
Prominent No supporter Warren Mundine has just cast his vote during pre-polling in Sydney, and when he did that, he was actually heckled by Yes supporters. Let's take a listen to that moment. This is obviously the final days of a high-stakes campaign for both parties. Hundreds of thousands of South Australians here in this state have already voted at pre-polling, and there is a record number of voters enrolled across the country, more than 17 million in total. So what I've learned is that these pre-polling votes that have been cast across the country will be able to be counted on Saturday night. That's what the AEC has told me. So unless it's a very tight vote in which it comes down to postal voting that still needs to come, we are likely to get a result then.